Hello and welcome. We're going to go over the machine with you. Let's start with the brains of the unit. This is the PLC. And we're just going to walk you through this system. We're going to start with the motors. If you hit motors, you can turn the fill motor on, which you need to do when you're running the machine, and the conveyor on if you're running the machine. I'm going to leave the conveyor off right now because we have a bottle down there. But we're going to turn this off as well so you can hear me. Okay, so what you want to start with, you can start with manual run. This is for setting up your machine, you can jog the auger to fill the auger up in the beginning of the day, or you can jog the auger to empty the auger at the end of the day. That turns the auger, it bypasses everything. The agitation normally would be with fill in manual operation, so you can hit with fill and jog. You can also vibrate if you want in manual operation as well. All right, let's go down to system setup. We're going to jump around here. You have a lot of things in here that you don't have on your machine. These are options, the lifts and stuff like that, which you did not opt for, and a clamp, which you don't need right now. But this is already in there just in case you ever do need to add a lift or add a clamp. The only thing really in here, you have one thing here really is your increment and decrement amount. That's on the auto screen, how much you want to go up and down. So you can just hit, I want to go up and down a quarter of a revolution every time I'm in auto run. So if we're in auto run and you hit more or less, that's how much you're going to go up. So right now it's going to be 0.25. So if you're just running in the course of a day, you can just hit more or less. That's a lot, a quarter of a turn. You're going to want to tidy that up a little bit when you're actually running. All right, so let's go back to system setup. So that's pretty much it. You do want to have the vibrate. You do have vibration on this machine, so vibrate enabled. You're going to want that on. You're also going to want the indexing on only when you're running the conveyor. When you're not running the conveyor and you're hitting the foot pedal, that's the foot pedal, you want this to be off. So you want this disabled when you hit the foot pedal. We want this enabled when we're running the machine automatically. That's your system setup. So we finish those three. We're going to go to edit recipe. So you can see right here, we're going to edit recipe number 2, all right? So when you're in auto run, you want to make sure you've selected 2 when you're running. This happens very often when you change a recipe and you don't change the recipe that you're running in. So when we're here, you can select a recipe and we want to be in 2. So you can select whatever one you want, but that's what you want to be in when you're running. So we're going to go back into edit recipe. We're going to do recipe 2. All right, recipe 2, I'm sorry, which we named 2 pound. All you do is hit that, and you can name it, and then hit enter, and you've named it. I named it 2 pound one. Normally you're going to be running turns. This is auger turns. How many turns do you want to do? Well, we're going to do 3 turns right now. It's 3 rotations of the auger. You can set this at 3.02 if you want, or what? I'm sorry, I kind of messed up there. 3.02, enter. So that is how many turns of your auger. You're going to figure that out when you're running a particular product. Could be anywhere from a quarter of a turn up to 5 turns, and anywhere in between. So when you start running products, you'll see how many turns it's going to take to run your powders. Let's just say you run a powder. You want to fill a pound, and 3.02 turns is half a pound that comes out. Well, then you go to 6.04 roughly, and then you can dial it in from there. Agitation is your blade that sweeps the wall of this hopper. The inner wall is the blade. That's normally going to be in with fill. So a normal run is turns and with fill. Vibration, you can have that with fill, or you can have that on all the time. And you can vibrate after like how long do you want the vibrate to be on for? You can have it on just with the fill, or you can vibrate it for longer than that. So it just depends on how much you want to vibrate. You can also, on the side here, change the vibration less, more, and on off. So how much do you want to vibrate the container? And you're going to play around with that with your different powders. So pretty much here is that's page 1. Page 2, these are all your delays. So delay after fill, transfer time, settle time after transfer, start, fill, delay. You're going to play with these delays, and what you want to do is you want to dial your containers in so they're not taking too long before and after the fill, and also when you're indexing these cylinders. So to I'm just gonna run through this a little bit and kind of show you, and you can hear the sounds of what's happening, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start this up here. Fill motor's on. We're gonna go into auto run, which is 3 turns, and hit start. All right, so you hear it running now. We're gonna hit return. We're gonna hit return. It's still gonna run. Edit recipe. Recipe page 2. Delay at the fill. Return to 3. Now you can hear it now. There's the delay. So it fills and it's delaying. All right, that's how that one works. Let's switch that back to 1 second. That might be a quarter of a second when you guys are there. Go to transfer time. All right, so now we got transfer time. See that time there? That's lining up the containers. We're taking a little bit longer for that. All right. Settle time after transfer. So it's filled, now it's settling. So the vibration most likely would be on that whole time. How long you want this product to settle for? Kind of a long time, but just showing you how it works. All right, and we'll go back to 1 second. This start fill delay is when your containers come into this photo eye. You see this photo eye is made, right? So when the containers come down and the photo eye is not made for a while, it'll take 3 seconds for it to start. So that it gives it time for the containers to get to the fill station. So that start fill delay is, 3 seconds right now. You'll play around with that. All right, let's go back and return. I think that's pretty much it with that. Let's turn this off. Oh, you have an emergency stop here too. Go back and I just went in the back and auto run. I'm gonna hit stop. The production counter's set right there. Coast, that's just an automatic thing for your clutch brake, so you don't have to do anything with that. So pretty much that is the brains of the machine. Setting the containers up. So you can see right here, this is your point and round. Your point is going to let containers go by. The round is going to line them up. So you can see, like this is the fill station right here, right? That's the fill station. These are down a little bit. It's gonna be about 3 or 4 containers that are gonna set up. I think it's 3 with you guys, but you can kind of see on our website some videos on how it's set up and running. But this is going to line up the containers. So you have, say, 1, 2, 3. That lines it up. This goes in between the containers. So when you line up, this point has to go in between the containers. There's just bolts on the back of these where you move them back and forth. So when you set up, again, this lines up. This goes in between and it lets the container go through. I'm gonna go over the conveyor while we're down here, why not? So the guide rails just have these quick release knobbies here that moves the conveyor rails in and out. They're simple to use. Again, your photo eye is over here. Let's kind of go around to the back side here. So this is your main power on off. You see danger high voltage. You want that off if you're ever working on the machine. But since we're already got this open, I'm just gonna show you back here what you have. Not much to do back here, but you do have some contactors and overloads. These are circuit breakers like in your house. So if they trip, those blue buttons will be able to reset them. You can see we're bringing power right to the bottom here. It's a 223 phase power. We have a black, a white, and a red, and a ground. So you can pop a hole. We don't have any holes in here, but you can pop a hole wherever you want. You don't know where you want to pop it, and then bring your power into the bottom there. So that's that. Up here is your fill motor. That is turning all the time. There's a belt and a pulley system up top. There is a 3-step pulley right now. It's in the middle pulley, which is 600 RPM. You can go a little faster on the top pulley, a little slower on the bottom pulley. You probably won't ever really play with that, but you do have that. Let's switch over to the hopper. Those are your quick release clamps for your hopper. So you pull them up and your whole hopper would come down after you loosen this bolt. These bolts you don't touch these. This bolt comes out and then the L bracket pops out. This stays attached to the coupling and the hopper. All that stays together to pull the whole hopper down to clean it. And then there's pins in here that pops it right back in. It is perfectly aligned right now. You don't want to touch these. tell who's ever working on it, don't touch these bolts, or it becomes unaligned and then, or misaligned, and then your auger is, can get worn down prematurely. This hopper support's never going to be touched either. It's all set up, so this is not going to be touched at all, and this coupling is always going to stay with the L bracket. If you want to raise and lower your heights for your containers, you want to come back here. There's a set screw back here. Take an Allen wrench, turn it counterclockwise, and then you have your jack back here. It's just like a car jack where you pump it up, goes up about 5 or 6 inches, 4 different heights. You have some height here too if you ever need to change any heights with your pads, and also these tubes can, actually go down in here even further if you want to lower the conveyor at all. So you have some adjustment there as well. I'm going to send you a video on a separate video showing you non-free-flowing and free-flowing products. I think we're just selling you a free-flow set of tooling. But if you ever need any other tooling, you can just order some more tooling. And that's pretty much it. So going through the machine for you. Let me know if you have any questions. Our email sales@imagefillers.com, and there's our phone number right on the screen. Thanks.